I don't know what it is, but it looks like the image on the V60 looks clearer. I don't know. I'm obviously gonna have to look again. Did it do it from the wide angle or something? Let me look. Yeah, it's on the wide angle. That's weird. That's kind of weird. Let me see something. Okay, so you know it's weird. So what I'm doing now is I'm just hot spotting it from my S21 Ultra to the V60, and I don't know if it's just me being a little bit of a V60 fanboy, but I feel like the image is a little bit better here. Now it is doing it from the wide angle, which is kind of weird, but yeah. Um, I'm still here. I just decided I wanted to maybe do like an extra 5 to 10 minutes just to you know, see if there are any more questions and things like that. That's pretty much it. Um, Now, if it starts going a little bit more haywire again, I'm obviously gonna end it. I'm not even gonna try to sit here and maintenance that. So, yeah. But so far, it's been pretty fine. I wish the live chat would just stay the hell up. Even though, obviously, it's a new live video, but that's kind of weird. They also give you filters on here too, which is kind of funny. It's cute. Yeah, for a little bit longer. I just decided to hotspot it to the V60, but just to see if that would do any better. So far, it looks like it's doing a little bit better, which is kind of funny, but whatever. Like I said, I do plan on doing more live videos. It's just, I don't know. For me, it's kind of weird because I'm not used to it. So I think honestly, it would probably be better for me to just do it at my apartment, since I have super fast Wi-Fi there anyway. That doesn't really drop out. But at the same time, it is Xfinity, so Xfinity likes to have random maintenance periods. But overall, I do feel like the V60 does a very good job here. Obviously, it's still at 30 FPS. But let's see. And what's really cool about the V60 is that you could just go live straight from the camera, which is kind of cool. Whereas on the S21 Ultra, you just don't have that option. You have to go to YouTube to do it, which, you know, is not that big of a deal. But say you're already in the camera of the V60 anyway, like, it's just quite nice to be able to have that option. I do feel like the V60 does a little bit better with metering here. I think the Ultra was a little bit too bright and got a little bit weird. Yeah, I guess I'll just walk through this field for a little bit. Like obviously I'll have to do a little bit of a side by side just to see if that's actually true. But from what I'm seeing, it may be rose tinted glasses. The V60 seems to be a little bit more well mannered with its colors here for live video. It's juicing it up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. The greens are a little bit green. Like you see this tree here with the leaves. It's not that green as it is on the video itself, but that's fine. It's like it's not something that I'm like, oh, it's just punching up colors to punch up colors. It's not really losing detail, so it's whatever. But yeah, like I was saying when I was doing live with the Ultra, oh god, I think I honestly was better when I was over there. At least there was shade over there. Got this little little dugout here. I used to play baseball as a kid. It's weird. I don't know. Dreams are so weird, right? Because you have dreams about the most random stuff. I don't know what it was. I had this dream I was playing baseball, and I don't know why. Right? I haven't played baseball since I was in middle school, I think. Right? So 6th to 8th grade. I love baseball. I'm not trying to sit here and act like, oh, baseball shucks or anything like that. It doesn't. But it was just odd to like have a dream that I was playing a sport when I haven't played a sport in over 10 years now. But yeah. I will say this phone does a really good job with live. Let me see the battery. It has only dropped like 2%. And since it's not connected, since it's not like data, it's probably doing a little bit better there. Since it's doing it through hotspot. So yeah, I've just had this like week off because my anniversary. I just wanted to spend more time with my girl and the dogs and cats. So, and don't worry, it's not like 15 dogs, 15 cats. It's 2 dogs, 2 cats. So I just decided to do that. Take a little bit of a break from basically hard carrying overnights for my team. So they can do it without me. It's just nice to have a time off every now and again. I don't really like to take time off, mainly because I just like working, which is very odd. A lot of people, for whatever reason, just don't like working. For me personally, I do. It's just when I gotta take a break, and I like to take it when it makes sense. I don't like, oh, I just want to take this random week off right here, right? Like for example, I took a break on her birthday, and I took a break this week, and it was just nice. And obviously today's Mother's Day as well. Happy Mother's Day to everybody's mother, or if you're a mother, I don't know why I said that like I'm in New York. Happy birthday to everybody's mother out there. Whatever. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to sit and chill, you know. Gonna start working out and all that shit again. Mainly because it's needed. This recent situation, it came out that you know, I'm not overweight or anything. It's just compared to what I used to be. And there are times where I just don't feel right. So I just feel like I need to hit the bag a little bit more. And thankfully, my apartment has a fitness room, so it's kind of easy to just go down there and do that. Yeah, but any other questions, go ahead and ask. I'll probably be on here for another 10 minutes, just to see how well this does. Just to chill. I'm not in a rush to do anything today. It's only like, what, 9 o'clock? So, I guess I'll try these filters out on board. The 40s. Oh, that's why they called it silver screen back then, huh? Because the picture literally used to be that color. Oh no, that's a little bit much. That's a little bit much too. Not a bad amount of filters here, honestly. I like the 8mm one. That's nice. The glamour just looks. Oh look, bubbles. We go back to normal. Pop ain't bad either. Pop is actually pretty nice. But my bad. I hit this link. I hit this goddamn link. That's the welcome to live chat link by mistake. That wasn't it disconnecting or anything. That was just me hitting that damn learn more right there. I will say this bench is pretty fucking uncomfortable. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of a lift right here. It's not fully flush like that one over there. I guess people don't play at this anymore because it's right by a fucking where cars go. Makes sense. I was like, why the hell is this just here? But in terms of phones, I plan on getting soon, eventually, one day. I really want to get the One Mark III. Yeah. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, those are a really good pair of IEMs. If you don't know what that means, in-ear monitors. They're just really nice. The cable that came with it was really nice as well. Detachable cables, so that's nice if you just want to get a different cable. But yeah, they're so easy to plug into basically anything and just go and get very good sound out of them. So that's just very nice. And due to the fact that the V60 also lets you monitor, audio while in manual video mode, if you have any sort of headset connected to it, it's quite nice that you could just do that with those. So that's just very good. But yeah, the One Mark III is calling to me. I don't know what it is. I really wanted the One Mark II last year, but obviously I bought V60, then I got the S20 FE, then, I wanted to get the ROG Phone 5 before I got the S21 Ultra, but the ROG Phone 5 just took forever to come out. And I was kind of anxious, or antsy, not anxious, antsy to get a phone. So I just decided to get the Ultra. And I like the Ultra, as you guys know. I really do like the Ultra. But I really did want that 144 hertz, 6,000 milliamp hour battery monster that is the ROG Phone 5. Yeah, the One Mark III is very compelling, mainly because 4K 120 hertz. It's doing basically what the S21 Ultra is doing with this camera, just in three lenses instead of four. Is like is giving you the very similar. Let me bring out the Ultra here. Is giving you a very similar like setup, right? Where you get triple cameras instead of four, but you get, I think, both a 3 and a 10x zoom, just in one singular telescoping camera. So that's very cool. Um, 4,500 milliamp hour battery is going to be a bit concerning, but I do feel like since Sony has pretty much done a pretty damn good job at keeping their batteries well tempered in terms of in terms of, say, longevity and battery life, and they have all these measures to make sure your battery goes for a very long time in terms of, say, battery degradation and things like that. I feel like Sony's doing quite a damn good job at making sure that you get a quality phone with quality battery. So long as the phone does like 8 to 10 hours of screen on time, I don't care. And due to the fact that last year the One Mark II was able to at least get around that, I'm pretty certain that this phone will be able to as well. Um, I don't need it. I don't need it to go like super ultra mega V60 levels of 15 and a half hours. I don't need that. But while it would be nice, to me, it's not something that I feel is truly needed for every single phone, especially if you're catering your phone to one kind of deal. You know, it would be nice if it had a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, but here's hoping, because brightness levels on the One Mark II apparently weren't great in terms of the screen. I hope they get that done as well. It is an OLED, so that's going to be very nice. A 4K OLED on a phone. That's better than like most people's TVs in their like living rooms or bedrooms, dude. That's crazy. Like that's better than the TV I got in my living room, you know. So that's just very cool. Um, and what really made me, it says I have zero view. I really don't trust the viewer count of YouTube Live. It's very weird, but I really do like how their manual camera and their manual video modes are set up. You know, or their pro modes are set up. They look like actual cameras. Like, and to me, that kind of made me be, oh my god, I really want that. And it's just very nice to have a phone that's getting me excited about phones again, you know. Because after LG, you know, left the market, it kind of made me sour on doing phone reviews. I'm not gonna lie about it, you know, because believe it or not, LG phones give me the most of my views. It's kind of funny because for other reviewers, it apparently doesn't do all that. They don't do all that well for them. But I guess since I started with LG with the V20, it just made people come here for LG content, I guess. So it's just very nice to see that some phone out there is giving you pro level controls for your camera and video, micro SD card support, um, well, a headphone jack. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the quad DAC. Hell, even the hi-fi DAC that's in the Razer Razer phone ROG phone 5 isn't on the level of the quad DAC, which is very weird. You'd think that a phone that's newer would try to come at the crown of LG for that, but I guess not. Apparently, it's still very good, and you can still use higher impedance cans with it. But yeah, it's just very weird that the quad DAC is still this like Like I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like some exclusive licensing with LG or something, but I don't know why any other company isn't using it. I know people say that Vivo phones have it, but I looked into it. They don't have the quad DAC. They have some sort of other hi-fi DAC, and yeah, it's kind of weird because I would like to see other phones have it, especially since LG is no longer with us, for what we know. Uh, my my deep hope is that they're just sitting there for for another year or two and just making a big boy phone, another big boy phone that'll come at the crown again. I feel like people just say Samsung and Apple are the best because they're the ones that sell the most. And while I love the S21 Ultra, and while I really did love the 12 Pro Max as well, people just undermined the issues with they undermine the issues with these phones, and they don't say anything. Like a lot of reviewers I really did enjoy watching would just sit there on Twitter and say, "There's no comparison between the 12 Pro Max and the S20 Ultra in terms of night video," but they don't ever talk about the lens flaring that comes with that. If you're in a place with a whole bunch of street lights, they don't talk about that shit. That to me is important because if you have a whole bunch of lens flares coming in and out of the frame, messing with your video, that looks way worse than the phone that just isn't as well metered. Olympus and Samsung. That would be pretty interesting because Olympus does a lot of very good. They do a lot of very good like smartphone like computational photography. So it would be very interesting to see Olympus come into the smartphone game and give some sort of flair to Samsung phones in terms of their processing, because I feel Samsung's processing is a little bit too Instagram social media post heavy, where it's just oversaturated and it takes out some detail at times. That's why I always push, if you have a Samsung phone, use the Pro mode if you want maximum detail and a good amount of color, because the auto mode is just not that great in terms of giving you that, in my personal opinion. And some other people have said that as well. But from what I've seen from things like the OnePlus 9 Pro with their Hasselblad collaboration, and people comparing it to the S21 Ultra, I like the colors way better on the OnePlus 9 Pro. Like they look more natural, and the S21 Ultra just looks blown out in terms of its highlights and a lot of other things. So it would be very interesting to see Samsung go with that sort of collaboration where I want to see more camera manufacturers do that. Like for a bit, and it was very funny because when I was comparing when I was using that EOS Rebel T7, the Canon camera, I was comparing it to like all my phones, and I was like, the V60 is like the closest in terms of color science to this camera, and the color science on Canon cameras, for whatever reason, tends to be really like natural, and a little bit punched up, but not to the point where you'll be like, "Oh, this is terrible." Like Samsung phones tend to be. That's why I tend to like LG cameras over the competition, because it's just like it's punched up, but it's like quite natural, especially the V60. Um, V40 to V60, they did a very good job at tempering their HDR processing, and their auto mode has been quite good. The, and there was a rumor that the V70 was going to have like Samyang glass on the back of it and things like that. That would have been interesting to see. But obviously, no V6, no V70, so whatever. Um, what can you do? But yeah, Samsung going that route would be quite interesting. I just want Samsung to bring the SD card back, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Um, Even with 256 gigs on the Ultra, I do feel like it's still, for what I do on my phones. I have a whole bunch of games on my phone, and obviously I use the S21 Ultra to record video and things like that as well. So even 256 gigs now, it was different on like the Note 10, the base Note 10, where it just had 256 gigs. Back then, that was like more than enough storage because it was like the phone did decent 4K 60 video, and I didn't use it that much for gaming. I honestly did prefer my V40 for gaming over my Note 10. Hot take, but overall, for things like that, I do feel like Samsung really does need to bring back the SD. I don't see them doing it, or or Samsung, hear me out. Do this. Make a 2 terabyte phone. Just do it. Have your base storage start out at 512. Have a 1 terabyte option as your second option, have a 2 terabyte option as your max option. How cheap storage is now, like, well, not now, mainly because of the fact that the component shortage right now, but due to how that would just be, there was a 1 terabyte S10 Plus. I don't know why they stopped that. Like, it would be very cool. You're pushing 8K video, 8K 24 frames per second video. You know, they want to sit here and say, oh, it's 8K 30. Let me show you guys here, right? Let me go to Pro Video. Let me go to, as you guys can see right here, the V60 doesn't want to focus. Go right here, as you guys can see, 8K 24 frames per second. Now, I don't use it. And you know what's very funny? The V60 pushes out 8K at 26. It still doesn't look great. I would have much preferred if the V60 had an 8K 30, or any of these phones had 8K 30. The only phone that I see right now that has 8K 30 phones, I think the Mi 11 Ultra has it, and the OnePlus 9 Pro has it. I don't remember if the OnePlus 9 has it, but the OnePlus 9 Pro definitely has it. But yeah, it would just be nice to have those sort of things. And I know you can, and I know there are a lot of Samsung nights out there that sit there and say, but who really needs it? I'd rather have fast main storage. You could have fast main storage and have an SD card that holds nothing but your videos and photos. That's what I've done for years now. That's what I've done for years. I don't know why all of a sudden Samsung nights are sitting here and acting as if it's fine to take away features that we used to have. They did it when it came to the IR blaster. They did it when it came to things like removable batteries. They just don't care anymore. They sit here and act as if they still care about being a power user, but all these power user features get taken out. And then you have phones like, say, the LG Velvet that has a Snapdragon 765, but it still has things like stylus support, dual screen, a desktop mode. It has all that stuff. Something that's priced very similarly to something like the Samsung Galaxy A52. Well, you don't have DeX. You don't have stylus support. You know, to me, that's weird. It just doesn't really make all that much sense to sit here and act as if it's okay for Samsung to take out these features that used to be a selling point of Android. You know, it used to be a selling point of Android that, yeah, you have micro SD card support. Removable batteries, fine. Like, I got over that, but It used to be a selling point when it came to like Samsung phones in particular, where yeah, you have you have three different Galaxy S phones, right? But all of them have quad HD displays. All of them have 120 hertz. The only difference is screen size and battery. Whereas on like 12 Pro to 12 Pro Max, you have a lower resolution display on the 12 Pro Max, a smaller battery, or 12 Pro, not 12 Pro Max. You have a lower resolution display on the 12 Pro, a smaller battery, and you have the same amount of RAM, which is weird, but they both have 6 gigs of RAM, which is very funny. But the other things just get messed with. Yeah, it's just like they take these things out that people loved just so they can be more like Apple. And I will say, in certain cases, when they're being more like Apple, I feel like they're doing very well. Like these here, the Galaxy Buds Pro. You guys probably won't even really be able to see them like that, but the Galaxy Buds Pro. These are nice. I really do like them a lot. They sound really good. They're really good. And yeah, when they do things like that are like Apple, I'm fine with it. Sorry, I had to check my phone, but it's when they do other things that I just feel like they're kind of dropping the ball, and it just sucks, man. Because I used to really like getting Samsung phones. S20 FE, I really did like the S20 FE, despite its faults. Sorry, I have a wide tongue, so certain sounds kind of trip me up. But yeah, I went for way longer than I anticipated. Hey, I'm having a good time just getting crap off my chest. So, any other questions? Like, I don't want to sit here and just be like, "Oh yeah, the phone industry today is trash." I don't necessarily think that. Yeah, the S20 FE is a really good phone. It has its problems, but I feel like the battery was good. I will say that. The S21 Ultra only gets an extra 2 hours of battery life out of it doing certain tasks. The heating was quite good. The performance was really good. You still had things like MST, so you can pay at, say, a gas station that doesn't have Google or Google Pay, mobile payments in particular, and just have no problems. The V60 also has that. It also has MST, but the problem, or mag stripe, if you don't know what that means. But the problem is you're gonna have to find out which banks support it, which they tell you in their in the app. But yeah, my bank in particular just doesn't support it, which kind of sucks. But it's whatever. Yeah, when they took out a lot of these things, it kind of like let me down. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. The fact I do plan on getting an S Pen. I really do. The problem is that bitch is like $40. That's always the problem with S Pens. I was like, how much does it cost? How much? What if I want to get a spare one? $40. I was like, I may as well just get like a Note 20 Ultra, and then just use the S Pen from that as well, and just swap it between the two. Because then you get the Bluetooth capabilities and all that stuff, and there's no problem with that, right? And then you have a silo where you can keep it and not have to worry about losing it. So, no, I don't have I don't have a stylus for that. I meant to get one, but things just keep coming up, man. Things just keep coming up. But I do plan on getting that, definitely. It's a very nice stylus. I have seen it, and I've seen videos on it with the V60. I just haven't gotten it yet. I do plan on it though, definitely. The bamboo seems like a really good stylus for the V60. I just don't want a Note S Pen kind of thing where it's just this small baby pen. But The convenience of that is that you could just put it in the phone and it charges, and that's nice. So I'm really thinking about getting an S20, a Note 20 Ultra, mainly for that. I would just get a base Note 20, same deal, but I would like the Note 20 Ultra. The Note 20 is too gimped. Like, it's way too gimped for me personally. Like, it's like the base Note 10, but if they took out more stuff and just put a higher end chipset in there, that's a sorry, I had to spit. Jesus Christ. Apologies for that amazing ASMR there, but honestly, the Note 20 Ultra now isn't terrible if you get it off like Swappa. Like, let me check real quick, because the Note 20, the S20 Ultra is like $500. Let's look at Note 20 Ultra. Yeah, the Note 20 Ultra can go. Obviously, you're not going to be able to see it. I'll just read off the price. $715. It's not terrible. For a 128 gig, 12 gigabyte model, you can get it for $715. And to me, that's very nice. Obviously, I'm going to wait a little bit longer because I'd rather wait. That's like $400 off the price. You go to Samsung's site, that bitch is still $1,200. Because I honestly was thinking, would I rather get the Note 20 Ultra or do I really want the S21 Ultra? I got my S21 Ultra from Swappa for like $900, the 256 gig 12 gigabyte variant, and it was brand new. It came in the box, and it also came with that Xbox Moga controller. So it was a very good deal. Initially, it was going to come with the those BTS limited edition purple Buds Plus. I didn't want them because they were BTS. Purple is my favorite color, or one of my favorite colors. So I've been like, ooh, purple true wireless earbuds. That's not bad. But yeah, it was just nice to be able to see that. And honestly, don't feel like I went too bad getting just the controller. That controller is nice. Like, it's almost on par with the PS5 controller. It looks just like an Xbox controller. So, and you can connect it to your PC and things like that. It acts as a portable battery as well. It's a very nice controller. The only problem that I have with it is that it charges through micro USB. So that's just something that I feel is terrible. But it came with a very nice long micro USB cable, so I just use that to charge my PS4's controller. Because I don't have a PS5. I just got the PS5 controller because I wanted to use it on mobile. Plus, when I do get a PS5, it would be nice to have two controllers anyway. So it was just nice to get that. It was weird because initially I tend to play Dead Cells primarily with the controller, and with the PS5 controller initially, due to the way the triggers are designed, it would like auto scroll the map and things like that, and it was very weird. But now with the most recent updates, since they put out one of the more recent DLCs, it doesn't do that anymore. So it's nice. Now I don't have to worry about that. Playing that game at 120 hertz on the Ultra is ooh, ooh, very nice. Like, that game is very well optimized. Like, say you get a phone like the Motorola, the fuck is it called? The Moto G Power 2021, which is a phone I do indeed have still. I'm gonna give it to my friend because he needs a new phone. He has a Moto G7. That game plays very well on that phone. It plays at a smooth enough 60 frames per second. That game is very well optimized. Kudos to Playdigis, I think the name of the developer is. Then they have the Bloodstained mobile as well. The only problem I have with that is there's no controller support and it only runs at 60. Like, I want that at 120. And comparing both of those games to how it plays on the Switch, um, the Switch is a very good console. I'm not about to sit here and say, "Oh, it's a trash console." It definitely isn't. But it's hard to go to it's hard to go to play Dead Cells on the Switch at 60 than from playing it at 120. For whatever reason, when I played on the V60, I don't have that much of a problem. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. But Bloodstained is kind of a. I don't want to. It's a lowercase d dog crap port on the Switch. Like, it runs at 30. It doesn't look all that great. But when you put it on a phone, oh my god. Like, oh my god. We've definitely surpassed the Tegra chips now in terms of power. Because that's what the Switch has. It has an underclocked Tegra chip in there. And it plays games well. I'm not going to stay here. Games that are made for the Switch play well. Games like Hades play really well. But, and obviously Nintendo first-party games play well. But it just comes down to the point where I feel, I wish certain games were just more optimized. Now, obviously, indie games like Bloodstained, they're more higher profile indie games. But indie games, nonetheless, they're gonna play a little. They're gonna have a little bit more optimization issues, but because it's a smaller developer, right? But seeing the difference is just crazy. I might end up doing that. I might end up doing a video on that, showing you guys the difference between Bloodstained on phones and Bloodstained on the Switch. It's kind of jarring. And if you don't know what Bloodstained is, it's Bloodstained is a it comes from one of the not original created, but if you know Castlevania Symphony of the Night and the more modern Metroidvania type games that come from like the more recent Castlevania games in terms of 2D, Bloodstained, you can even hear it in the name. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, right? So you see, it's just a Metroidvania made by one of the godfathers, I guess you could say, of that genre. It's a really good game. It's just I wish it played better on the Switch. That's pretty much it. But so the moment they put controller support on that game, I'm switching over to phones. Yeah, Bloodstained is like a mixture between like 2-3 different Castlevania games. It's like a mixture between Symphony of the Night, obviously, Aria / Dawn of Sorrow, so I guess that's 4 games. Aria of Sorrow / Dawn of Sorrow, and Order of Ecclesia. So it's very much like a mixture of like some of the more popular Castlevania games, which is fine, you know. And yeah, it's quite good. Obviously, people have their problems with it. I have my problems with it, but it's a good game. Most definitely. I wish Hades would come on mobile. That would be sick. Hades is a really fun game. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here. It's been 45 minutes, and I've basically been in the same spot just looking. So, yeah. Any other questions? Let me like. I guess I'll give it 5 more minutes. Any other questions? Go ahead. Go right on ahead. Yeah, it's nice being able to do this. You can't do this in the city. You really can't sit here and do this in like downtown Minneapolis or St. Paul. You really can't do this. I could do this on like my mom's porch or something like that. But you can't do this in the city. You just can't. Look, plant fell on my bag. I forgot how much Bloodstained was. I think it was like $8. I obviously can't check it now because let me see how well. Oh, another issue that I have with my Ultra. Sometimes it's very hard to replicate, but sometimes when I press the power button once, it'll automatically activate the camera. It's very weird. It used to happen quite a bit, but when I decided to turn the feature off and turn it back on, it got a little bit more tempered. Yeah, this is live. It's live. Um, you can watch my previous video and see how it looks from the S21 Ultra. But I don't know what happened. The V60 decided to go wide angle. As you can see, it's choppy, obviously, because it's live. But yeah, you can't really do anything about that. Oh fuck it, I'll go for 15 more minutes. The V60 has plenty of battery left, so. The wallpaper from is from Dragon Ball Fighters. I just looked up Android 21, which is a play on the fact that the Galaxy S21 is an Android phone, and it's the S21, right? So that's kind of what made me go to the S21 in particular. But it's Android 21. I did edit it up so that it's a little bit more saturated and things. I can show you what the main wallpaper looks like. I think if I still have it on here, because I did clean out my crap recently. But where's it at? Is this? No, it ain't in here. Such a pity. Maybe it went into my secure folder or something. Let me look. Gallery. Oh no, it ain't in there. Let me scroll through my Google Photos just so I can show you what this looks like. I did make a video showing how I make my wallpapers basically, but it didn't do well initially, so I just deleted it. But let me try to find this here. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this is how the base wallpaper looks itself, but I did edit it up a little bit. Let me try to get this to focus. It ain't gonna focus. Whatever. This is how the wallpaper looks itself on the main screen. This is the wallpaper I use on the main screen. On the lock screen, it's this one. And both of them are 4K. I did make sure to get them in 4K, mainly because I don't want any sort of artifacts, any sort of bad looks on my display. It's a quad HD display. You want it to look nice. So, yeah, I just did that. The photo editor I use is Polar. I got it before they decided to go to a monthly subscription. So if you don't want to do that, honestly, I would advise you to go to any other sort of photo editing app that gives you more granular controls over that. I could do a video on Polar itself and show you guys what it looks like. If you guys want that, but yeah. Overall, that's just what I tend to do. I tend to just Google things I like and use that as wallpapers. Like, for example, my V60, I just looked up Suspiria 2018 and just use wallpapers and use like posters and whatever from that as my wallpapers for my V60. Initially, those were wallpapers on my 12 Pro Max, but I think they look better on my V60. I'm not going to lie. Due to the fact that the V60 is a wider phone, it just looks better to me. So, yeah. People tend to ask me a lot what my wallpapers are. It's nothing really intricate or anything. I just look up stuff I like and then use that as wallpapers. This is what I guess there's a deeper philosophy behind it, but it's more. It tends to be video game, anime, crap, and then some movie. But yeah, overall, it's just that. I don't really have anything that's like. It's not like I have an app that I use. Google is your best friend in terms of that, and I tend to use like the browser I tend to use for that is Opera, because sometimes Google Images will tend to give you a low resolution version of the image. So I'll press and hold on the image and do search by image, and then you can get more high resolution images like that. Just a pro tip, I guess. Like, it's funny because if I were to get the ROG Phone 5, um, what I was gonna do is I was gonna get Balrog pictures for it, wallpapers for it. Balrog from Street Fighter, because ROG, ROG, it's a gaming phone. It just made sense, right? That's what that's what I tend to do quite a bit. Yeah, but yeah, give it 9 more minutes here. I just like how nice it is out here. I don't really get to soak out and, well, by choice, but I don't really get to soak outside and enjoy the weather, mainly because these last few months have not been like amazing for weather. This is like the perfect middle ground of sun and like breeze. So it's just nice. Crap. Phone displays, man. Here's the thing. Um, it's very nice that phones have big displays, but boy, do they get dirty. They get dirty. The Ultra's display, man, it's it's a love hate relationship with it. Well, not love hate, love dislike, I'll say. Where it's a very good display. Um, I don't think it gets that bright outdoors. I think people kind of oversell how bright this phone's display gets outdoors. It's pretty damn bright out right now. But in direct sunlight, sometimes it's not as good as my V60. But yeah, then they just get super tattered, dude. Like, you probably won't be able to see it. Look at that. And I know some people tend to complain about, oh, your phone's display is dirty. Yeah, because I use the phone. Like, I use the goddamn phone. Of course, the phone's display is going to be dirty if I'm touching it, dumbass. But yeah, it tends to be like that quite a bit. I think YouTube needs to work on its live count, because I swear to God, it's saying 0 are watching again, but I doubt that. Pro tip. What was the pro tip again? Oh, um, to find better resolution, pictures, the browser that I use is Opera. Um, Google Chrome used to have it to where you can search like that, but now they do it with Google Lens. So you press and hold on the picture, you go down to search by image, search search via Google by image, I think it is. I guess I can show you guys real quick how I do it. So you search by image. Um, if I can find where Opera is, let me just look up Android 21. So as you guys can see here, aside from the refresh rate shown on the display, it's a little bit weird. So you go down here, search for this image, hit that, and as you guys can see, you get that. You get more sizes, and then you just get more sizes like that. And you pick whichever one looks the clearest for you personally. That's what I do. Um, and then I edit it up and all that crap. But yeah, that's typically what I do. Oh shit. Don't you just love when it's peaceful outside? Like, it makes me not want to get up. Like, I would make a Pinterest of all my wallpapers, but the problem that I tend to have with things like Pinterest is that they tend to want you to use the goddamn app and able to get the wall and able to get the pictures off of it. So I just tend to be like, just use stuff that you like and then find it that way. I know people tend to like my wallpapers and things like that, but one, it's a lot of work for somebody that does actually. I don't want to be someone that does actually work. That's not what I'm trying to say. That does work for a living to think about doing that. But I think over the years I have gotten better at articulating my thoughts, especially this past year when I've kind of been like, okay, let me dial back on how much crap I say. But yeah, I wish more movies would come out. I think it kind of sucks that due to the recent situation with COVID and all that crap, that movie theaters and movies in general kind of got effed. You know, I did see Godzilla vs Kong, and I did see well, I didn't see Mortal Kombat in theaters, but I did watch it, and I did watch the Snyder cut. But it just sucks that we're going more to the streaming service kind of deal because there's something about spending $30 on popcorn and watching a movie at a theater. I don't know what it is. It's just this like revitalizing kind of thing that kind of sucks that the only movies that we'll get now are Marvel movies, and which I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh, Marvel movies suck. No, no, I'm not saying that. Though the recent crop of their shows are not great. Like WandaVision was good up until the last episode, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier has good bits, but oh boy, that last monologue. But hopefully Black Widow is good. It is nice that Scarlett Johansson is finally getting her own movie for once, even though it's a prequel. But it's nice to finally get that. Hulk will probably never get a movie, but honestly, I'm fine with that. I think him and Ragnarok was pretty damn good. But seeing this recent switch to how Marvel Comics wants to be and how they want to be all, I'm not gonna get into that. That's a tad bit political for what I want to make, for how I want the live show to be. But yeah, I honestly just might start biting the bullet and just seeing movies, like seeing movies that nobody is talking about. I did want to see was that Judas and the Black Messiah? I did want to see that, but not because Black Power or anything like that, but mainly because it looked interesting. Like, I don't like movies like Us or Get Out. A lot of people like those movies. They tend to be race baity, and I don't really like that. But in terms of what movies are these days, it's interesting to see how auteur type directors tend to get flubbed for more. Like, it happened when Scorsese talked about how Marvel movies are basically roller coaster rides. And people were like, what do you mean? They're good though. And I was like, he wasn't saying they're not good, asswipe. He was saying that they're pretty much just made in a machine and they're made to make money, and that's it. And and is he wrong? And people just said, "Oh, but all you make is mobster movies." Oh, really? Taxi Driver is a monster movie or monster movie, mobster movie? That'll be very nice, man. Mortal Kombat was okay. I have my problems with it. As a Mortal Kombat fan, it felt like a high budget like CW movie. That's what it felt like to me. But I would like to see more independent movies. It just sucks that we're not getting that as much anymore. They're not getting as much push. And if they are more independent, the very few that are independent get pushed. Like, what was that movie? Parasite. They get pushed mainly because they want to be, not because they want to be Oscar bait. I don't want to say that, but because a lot of people like it for a particular reason, and more power to them. But to me, as things go more in a way that I just don't like, how everything is becoming corporate. Apologies, now my girlfriend is texting me asking me where I'm at. But yeah. I guess I can answer one more question if there are any. Because I gotta get going here. V60's at 69% battery. Nice. Man, oh man. Just love to hear the birds chirping. I feel like the quality is dipping a little bit. Yeah, man. If you've watched my videos and you liked what you've seen with it and you really do, like, here's the thing with tech reviewers, I think it's more on the side of, if you tend to have a certain amount of things that you agree with a tech reviewer on, and they tend to have the same amount of interest that you have when it comes to a phone, then you should like the phone. Like that honestly is just something that I would honestly say that I would say. Um, the V60, like I've said since I've had it, is a very good phone. It's one of my favorite phones of all time. Sure, if you're coming from a V40 slash V50, you're going to be missing things like the better software, mic, noise reduction, the quad HD display, things like that. But you're gaining a whole bunch. Like, the power of this phone is like, man, this phone still, it still surprises me to this day every time I use it. And yeah, it's just a very good phone. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the best phone ever made. Obviously, I don't really think there's any such thing as the best phone ever made, but it's to me, it's LG's best phone. Like, I know people that, oh, the V40 slash V50 are peak LG, but I feel like LG put a lot of work into this phone to work around the compromises that they did have with the that they did that this phone did have, and I do feel the compromises are fine. I don't feel like it compromises on much. The quad HD display to 1080p, it's a very quality 1080p panel, so I don't really care about that. And then they made it cheaper than the V50 by like $200. So, it's a win-win in my personal opinion. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. Let me go and do what I said I was gonna do. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support as always. I might do another live video later. I don't know yet. But yeah. Have a good one, y'all. I'll let a couple comments come through just to see. But yeah, have a good one. The FedEx truck. Yeah, that's no problem, man. Thanks for stopping by. Really do appreciate it.